What's going on, guys? Welcome to a Hot Wheels unboxing video. On this episode we are going to be doing something new. I know we usually go through old cars that have been sitting in my parents' attic for many years, but today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to look at cars that you can actually find on the shelf today. So let's hop right in and see what we got. First up, we have the Hot Wheels Fast Transit Road Bandit. Wow, that rhymes. Now this is an interesting looking vehicle. It kind of looks like an in-between of a motorhome and a food truck. Cool giant sunroof on the top there, and it's made of a neon plastic. I really like the orange and blue contrast. It makes it a cool looking paint job. Next up, we have this old 55 Chevy Belair gasser. Now this is a cool looking vehicle. Lots and lots of decals on the side and that raised front to give it the old gasser look. Nice big Hot Wheels logo on the side and the word collectors, notifying you should collect this vehicle. I think it's a trap though. Next up, we have the 19 Ford Ranger Raptor. Now this is a good looking truck. I'm not a big Ford fan, but the HKS brand is a pretty cool logo, and they always do a similar type of paint job. All their vehicles look pretty much like this, black with this teal, purple, and magenta paint job. Next up, we have the Surfin school bus. Now this is a pretty cool looking bus, and it is sponsored by the company SE Bicycles. SE Bicycles has been a BMX company since I was a little kid, but I'm a little confused why they got the Surfin school bus with the surfboards in the back and not the bus with the bike rack in the front, being that they are a BMX company. Who knows? Still a great looking bus. Next up, we have the 07 Chevy Tahoe. This is part of the First Response series. Now, this is a good looking vehicle with that red tinted windows. I really like that. The rims go really well with it. It's interesting that this car is really light though, because you would assume that it's heavy. It's pretty large, but the body and the chassis are both made out of plastic, so it's a lot lighter than you would expect. Here's one of my favorite experimental vehicles. This is the Shark Bite by the Hot Wheels Megabyte series, and this is a cool looking car. I always really like it because it has that movable jaw in the front that goes up and down, and this one actually has a really cool tribal looking design on the back of it. Very bright gold, and those red wheels really make it pop. Next up, we have the Mod Rod from the Hot Wheels Art Car series. This one is very interesting looking, lots of different panels of color, but I still think it looks better than its brother, which is the Treasure Hunt from last year. And this is also the Mod Rod, part of the Race Team series, but I didn't think this was a very good looking treasure hunt. No offense, Mattel. Sometimes I question the cars that you make treasure hunts and the ones that you don't. Maybe that this car wouldn't sell unless it was a treasure hunt. But I proved you wrong because I bought one almost as ugly. Speaking of treasure hunts but not being a treasure hunt, here we have the Ford Escort RS 2000. This is part of the Factory Fresh series. They do have this one in a Super Treasure Hunt. This one is not it. The Super Treasure Hunt is a candy apple green with like glitter and sparkles in it. It's quite cool looking, but this one actually is a good looking green color too, so I picked it up anyways. Cool to have for my collection. Also from the Megabyte series, I got the Hot Wheeler. Now sometimes in the scurry of buying Hot Wheels, you get caught up in the moment and start buying too many. This might have been one of those moments. But here we have the Hot Wheeler, and this one actually has a special feature which is pretty cool. Just like the Shark car, it has a mouth that moves up and down. So, neat little feature. Not the prettiest looking car. Something I would have really enjoyed as a child, but I think as like an adult collector, probably not something you would collect. Most people are into JDMs, Camaros. They really get specific with the cars they want to collect. But I have all sorts of different cars in my collection. Next up we have the West Coast Flyer. Another one of those impulse buys. I really like train engines, but when I got this one home I wasn't too sure that I was in love with this car. It is cool to have in the collection, but maybe not one of my favorites. But let's be honest, I have a lot of cars in my collection that I don't really love. Next up we have the Skate Grom from the Hot Wheels Extreme Sports series. This one is pretty cool because even though that the skateboarder has very little detail, the skateboard actually has a good amount of detail. Now this is an old birdhouse design on the top here, and it's actually quite detailed, so I thought that was pretty cool. I picked it up for that reason, and I also really like skateboarding and Hot Wheels, so this one ends up in the collection with all the other skateboarders. Next up we have the 57 Jeep FC. This is the new style. The original one came out in 2023. This one is tan with that 1990s style striping on the side. Very cool looking lifted Jeep. And I like big trucks, so I definitely had to have this one for my collection. But I also have the one for 2023. So here's the 2023 original model, and this one is the blue version. The blue is so eye-catching really, and the large vehicle makes it really cool. I don't know, which one do you like better? Leave it in the comments below. Next up we have the 1978 Dodge Little Red Express truck. This is the 2024 Valentine's Day edition. On the side here it says, "Will you be my Valentine?" Cool looking little truck. Nice and fancy. So I guess if you had a boyfriend or girlfriend that was into collecting Hot Wheels, this would be the perfect little gift for them. Which is a good segue for my next point, is I'm going to be starting up an eBay store. So check out the eBay store, see if there's any cars you like, and pick out what you want, and I'll ship it right out to you. Anyways, let's get back to Hot Wheels. Next up we have the cool Combi from the Surf's Up collection. This one is cool. This is the Moon Eyes version with the Moon Eyes logo on the side. It's got the two surfboards in the back there. They actually make these minivans. They like chop a section of them out and then make them tiny, 2 doors. Interesting. Which is interesting because they also make another one, which is the yellow variation, still the Moon Eyes variation, but of course I had to have both. I picked up the yellow variation a few months ago, so it may be a little bit harder to find this one. But which one do you like better? The yellow one or the primered gray one? Let me know in the comments below. Next up we have the Loopster from the Xpera Motors collection. Now, these cars are almost identical, but there's one difference. Let me give you a second to see if you can figure it out. If you saw that one set of them has their arms up and one set of them has their arms down, you are correct. And this is not an error, this is actually made that way. The figures with their arms down are actually fully printed. If you can see there, there's actually a shoulder harness that keeps them in. And the ones with their arms out definitely have their hands up, reaching for the sky as they go through. But keep an eye out for both of them if you want them both. Next up we have the Key vehicle. Now this is the Mighty K from Compact Kings. These are the tiny 1-ton trucks that they make in Japan, which I've slowly started to see come over to the US. This is a cool looking mini truck. But in the recent years, they've made not just this blue one, they've also released this red one. There's also another one that is a treasure hunt that is a candy apple red. But the first key vehicle they released was in 2022. They released a pink one and a white one that I can't seem to find, but I know that I have. Anyways, at least here's 3 examples of the Mighty K vehicle, all from different years and all from different series. Next up, I found the 1956 Corvette. This is the Barbie Corvette, but it is not Barbie. This is printed Ken's on the front license plate, and it also matches. I don't know if we're going to be able to get the zoom, or there's probably no way. It's probably so out of focus. Whoa! It actually says Ken's right there on the front license plate, which is pretty cool. This one also comes in a bunch of different variations. We have the Ken's version, which is the primered one with flames on the side of it. Then we have the light blue 1956 Corvette that was released in 2023. Also, we have the light pink Corvette that was released in 2023. And then we have the Barbie movie car. This one was the most expensive. Which one do you like best? Next up is my favorite find for this episode, Honda Civic SI. This gold color is really nice on this vehicle, and it has the carbon fiber hood on the front of it. The red interior is a great touch. The sunroof is nice. We have the spoiler in the back. We have the Hot Wheels logo on the license plate. It even has taillights and headlight decals, which is kind of rare actually. Great looking car. They actually put some time into this one. Next up is a car brand new for 2024. This one is called the Mostache. And today we're going to do something special because this actually has a special feature. If we look on the back, what is that? This one is a mustache comb. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. Let's check out the mustache comb. Now, I usually don't open cars, but today we're actually going to open one. And because we're going to do that, I didn't just buy one, I bought 2. One for the collection to be put away and one to be opened. But what I do want to do is, since it's an Experiment Motors one, is I want to try to open one of these using the method that people have been using online, which is using an acetone to release the plastic from the back instead of ripping it off. I want to see how nice I can leave the card. So that's going to be my adventure. You'll see the time lapse right now. Now for the moment of truth. Card looks pretty good. A little bit wet still. Let's check this out. Alright, the Mostache. Ooh, there it is. Cool little comb that comes out of the center of it. Nice. Oh man, this comb's a fake comb. What am I going to do with a fake comb with a real mustache? Well, my next step in life is customizing Hot Wheels. That might be on this channel soon. Stay tuned. Anyways, that's going to be it for this one.